Right, we've got another winner for you today, and so we're going to dive into the topic on this video, and it is why understanding doesn't mean that they can do it alone. Now, this is a bit of a part two to the previous video where I talked about understanding and how that it's important to form that deeper connection with their learning through different questions that you ask them. All right. Now this is a step further, so they've got that understanding, they're doing the questions correctly, but now you're getting to that point where they can't do it alone, so they're hitting another snag basically. So let's have a look at how we solve this one. And so the question that we are asking is, they understand it, why can't they do it alone? Let's have a look. So the truth is that understanding something once is not the same as being able to do it independently. And so this is really important because this could be happening in class, this could be happening in the tutoring room, this could be happening at home. And so they are seeming as though they're understanding it, meaning they're getting questions right, but then the next minute they can't do it by themselves. So let me give you an example here. Let's say they bring home a homework sheet, or you're using one of my resource packs and you're doing a skill for the week, and you're sitting with them doing that thing. You explain it, they nod, and they get a few things right. So they get a few of the questions right that you're offering them that they're doing. And then I've got a ... and then it says with you there. All right, so they're getting it right, but with you there. But when you leave, and whether that's leave completely or, leave the room, or leave, and just let them try by themselves, they say, I don't get it, or I don't understand, or I've forgotten. And so what you're seeing is the gap between recognition and recall, which in turn means when you're there, you hold part of the thinking for them. And if you think about that for a second, if you put that into a bit of an analogy, it's a bit of a safety blanket, isn't it? All right, so when you're working alongside them, helping them, guiding them through whatever it is they're doing, very often you will, and not saying you, but you as a person helping them, will kind of guide them along the way, maybe jump in, maybe give them a couple of clues on how to get it. It's very common. So therefore, you are holding part of the thinking for them. And they know that as well. And that's the safety blanket. So what's happening is they are recognizing steps because they're able to follow the system. They're able to follow the steps that strategy is using, but they're not able to retrieve them when they need to. And so when they get to independent work, that means when they're by themselves, and this could be in class and they get sent off to work on their own, or you are leaving them alone to have a go at them. If we put ourselves in their shoes for a second, they have to remember in that moment the steps that they need to take. And it could be that they're doing some sort of algorithm and there's a few steps to remember. They have to remember them in the right order, making sure they're doing it in the right order. They have to do it without help, and they have to do it under a bit of pressure. And that doesn't mean you're putting pressure on them. That means that internally they're feeling a bit of pressure because now the safety blanket's gone. Yeah? And so understanding with help is what's called borrowed thinking. And if you think about that for a second, if I say that one more time, understanding with help is borrowed thinking, because when you are helping and they are understanding, like I said before, you hold part of the thinking for them, so therefore they are borrowing some of your thinking. Making sense? And And doing it alone is the opposite, right? It's obviously owned thinking, because they are able to solely do all the thinking. It's owned by them, and they're able to follow the steps in the right order, all that sort of thing. So that's the bit of the issue here. And like I say, that could be in school, that could be at home, that could be in the tutoring room. That's an issue with children's learning. So this is how you solve it. What you do, first thing, after showing them something, don't ask, do you understand? Just that simple question. Don't ask that. Do you understand? I want you to ask this instead. Show me one on your own. So you finish helping them, finish guiding them through a couple of example questions, and you want to say, show me one on your own. And that actually goes hand in hand with the resource that I provide on my Patreon channel, which week 1 is just dropped now, by the way, just for your information. Because what I supply in there is a really easy to use system, and it gets to the point where they can do a couple of practice questions, and then you can say, okay, do the next couple on your own, because there's 3 or 4 per little practice part of the skill that you'll learn each week. Super easy. Plug and play, like I said. And the second thing that you want to do is build small independent reps. Okay? Not 20. Okay, now repetition is important, we know that, but not just blindless repetition. So build small independent reps. So not 20, but 2 to 3 solo. And again, that goes hand in hand perfectly, surprise, surprise, with the resource that I am supplying, where they are just little small questions, meaning like they're in little blocks. It could be 5 minutes a day here and there, and you do 2 or 3, get them to do 2 or 3 solo after you've had a go at 1 or 2 with them. Easy as. And so the goal of this video, is basically so they can do it without you. That's when you know that they've got it. So they've gone from learning the skill, being able to explain back to you what they're doing. That's in that other video. They're able to do them side by side with you, with a bit of support. And then the final step is making sure that they can do it alone. And to do that, you follow that. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below, hit that link in the description, because that will take you to my Patreon channel. I'm getting more members join each day. Join the free community, join the chat room, and yes, week 1 is now live for year 3, year 4, year 5. That's grade 2, 3, and 4 in the States. Covering the fundamentals is a 40-week year plan. It's a progressive pathway, and week 1 weekly resources is now dropped. You get a parent learning card, you get a practice worksheet, you get a confidence and extension worksheet, and you get an answer sheet, all for a very small fee per month. Check it out. And until the next one, have an awesome day.